Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to take a look at a horrible stock pick from Jeremy where he tells how he lost basically all his money on his stock pick, probably more than what he shows on the screen here because he has public and non-public and private portfolios. So this is just one of the portfolios. I think that he has some very important takeaways that we can learn, and this might happen to any one of us because we pick stock, how this might happen to Palantir. So it's really important that we know how to react to this, and we accept that when you pick stocks, then this can happen. So, and as always, if you like this content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you want to go and support the channel, check out the first link in the description. You can support the channel from $5 a month on Patreon and get access to me and all valuations that I've done for companies on this channel. So let's get into the video.
Alrighty folks, somber video time. It's kind of appropriate. It's raining here in Vegas. It's stormy, and we got to talk about this stock here and kind of what's happened, what's transpired, my feelings. I'm going to talk about it from every different angle here. So as you're seeing there, basically lost everything in this stock. That's $250,000, and then a much smaller position in my public account. This is my main private account, which obviously is much bigger, account. So everything's going to be amplified in that account. But basically lost, everything in that stock. So, where do I even want to start? So in regards to that stock, how I even got into that in the first place was, I had no crypto exposure. And being that I have, millions of dollars of real estate, millions of dollars in stocks, it kind of seemed like I should get some exposure into crypto.
If anyone who's watching doesn't know, this stock where he lost everything is a crypto exchange. So just wanted to let you know in case you're wondering.
To be honest, I don't know what the big cryptos are going to be, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, Solana, all these different ones. And so I thought, well, I don't really know what's going to be the big cryptos, so I'm going to play the picks and shovels business, essentially. And the picks and shovels business is an idea that basically comes from the gold rush, and you can either be the company, or you can be the person trying to get the gold, or you can be the one selling the picks and shovels, right? So I said, okay, Voyager Digital, I looked at the company. At that time, they were cash loaded. They had revenues that were exploding. They were getting to profitability. So everything with underlying business model looked actually really, really good. And it was actually trading at a really low PE. And so I said, okay, if I'm going to get exposure in the space, I'd rather do this than buying, some crypto straight up. So went ahead and did that. And then there was a change. And I stopped buying the dip in that stock. Now, if you know me, most of the time I continue to buy the dip in a stock. Like, if the Chef goes down, I keep buying it. If Oatly keeps going down, I keep buying it. If Honest or PayPal or Meta or any of these stocks that, had been obviously killed in this crash, if those go down, I usually keep buying them. Voyager is a very different situation. I didn't keep buying that one. I stopped buying that one I probably stopped buying that one in 2021, and as it went down and down, just not buying. And the reason being is not because I predicted some massive crypto crash that was going to come. I wish I was that intelligent. The reason I stopped buying that stock was I watched a lot of the biggest finance creators try to basically, if you don't know, like fintech companies will work out deals with creators and like affiliate deals or sponsorship deals and things like that, right? And with Voyager, some of the biggest creators in the world on social media would go to this company and try to work out deals, and Voyager wouldn't show any love, want to do any deals. Meanwhile, Voyager would spend their advertising budget on NASCAR and these different things. And so I started looking at that and I'm just like, I don't know what the heck this management team's doing, man, but I'm not going to buy this stock anymore. I'm just going to hold what I got. And unfortunately, I've held, and I went down with the Titanic in this situation. And unlike many other stocks in the market, this one might never come back. If I had to guess, it's probably never coming back. And there's a higher probability it goes to zero than goes to anything else. And that obviously sucks. It's not fun to lose that much money. If you're a stock picker for long enough, eventually you're going to pick one that, they don't make it through. And, most of these companies, I think they're going to be much higher prices than they ever were in the past. I don't think that's likely going to be the situation with Voyager. I think it's very unlikely. So I'm just holding my shares. we'll see what happens. You know, if it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But that's kind of my stance on it. And sucks, man. And that's why I never, ever laugh at somebody if they lose money. Like the Terra Luna situation, you know, many different situations that people lose money. The AMC situation, people lost a lot of money in that. GameStop, all those stocks, people lost a fortune, right? Never laugh at those people. And the reason being is, like, every dog has its day. And that's just a bottom line in this game. And so, like, eventually, you know, you're laughing at people, and then, you know, karma's a real thing. And you're just, if you're doing this for long enough, like, some bad stuff's going to happen to you. That's just the way it goes. And unfortunately, that's the situation here. And like I said, unlike many other stocks that are likely going to come back and thrive and do really well in the future, I don't know if that one does. Sam from FTX is trying to, you know, make sure they make it through, if you see the news. But we'll see, man. So, you know, sucks. That's the bottom line. But in crashes, that's what happens, man. A lot of devastation. There will be more. Much love as always, guys. Have a great day.
All right, so there's a couple of very important takeaways here, because this could happen to us and Palantir, right? Theoretically. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Chill. I read a book, can't remember the book, but I just know that it was a very, very important book about the stock market. And the guy said that there is 4 types of things that can happen to you on the stock market. One of them is that you place a good bet. The other one is that you place a bad bet, and then you can have a good outcome from your bet and a bad outcome. So a good bet here would mean that, you know, you follow your strategy, everything looks good, but you still can have a bad outcome on it, right? And the author of this book was saying that the worst thing that can happen to new traders is that they place a bad bet, meaning that they're not following their strategy, and then they get a good outcome because, you know, that emboldens them to, you know, do stupid things on the stock market. So if I look at Jeremy, this was definitely a good bet. If you know me and you follow the channel, you know that I have this theory that, you know, when you see an opportunity, then, you know, you need to go out and, you know, try to seize the opportunity. And I have this philosophy that I rather die on the battlefield trying to do something than, you know, sitting at home doing nothing. So in that sense, he made a good bet, and it's a very unfortunate circumstances of events that, you know, transpired, and it caused the company to go to zero, because it's not only that the company was doing bad, but, you know, this crypto crash came, and it looks like it possibly is wiping out a lot of, you know, crypto companies and crypto exchanges. Maybe the only mistake that he has made in this situation is that he saw a change in his thesis and he stopped buying the stock, you know, and when you stop buying the stock, it's almost like you're shorting the stock. And maybe that should have been a red flag that, okay, this is like, if I don't want to buy the stock when it went lower, then maybe I should sell it. So as I said, this can happen to us on Palantir. And what are the warning signs? So for example, one would be is we have a thesis for Palantir, you know, that they're going to keep growing at a certain pace. You know, the government, the commercial is going to grow. Now that they are in Ukraine, they are supposed to get a lot of new business from European governments, which has been a weak spot. And we need to see them keep the net retention very high. And if we come into a situation that the thesis breaks, and, you know, they're not growing, the customers are not growing, the customers are leaving, we're not getting European customers, you know, because Daddy Carp always says that Palantir is doing, you know, good in bad times. So now it's bad times, and they haven't really shown that they can do good, right? So if this happens, we need to be willing to sell the company, because this is what happens when you're not willing to sell the company. So kudos for Jeremy for making this video, because I know it sucks to lose this much money. It's not a small sum of money. I love him for his transparency. I don't necessarily agree with his stock picks, but I really like his hustle. He's a very hard worker, and you know, as long as we don't need his stocks to go up for, you know, our stocks to go up, and we can both be right and be happy. And I wish him the best of luck. And yeah, this one turned out to be a dog. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ciao.